USL's website for up-to-the-minute league info. This is Hughes, Tyler Hughes. Siriu for Mayard, and Mayard was hugging the touchline, and poor first touch made it impossible for him to keep it in bounds. Dwayne Garreau. Persnecker gets it back from Oveen. Barclay, tough tackle, and he got the worst of it. Zagar out to the top of his box. Theo Zagar really hasn't been tested so far.
No shots on goal by Calgary in the first half. Toronto had 10 and scored the 1 goal, and that's what you normally say. Every 10 shots you expect to score 1 goal, and that's obviously something that the coach of Team Calgary, Tom Williams Sr., has been mentioning at half-time, that we've got to get more strikes on goal. Theo Zagar, he'll say, well, I don't need any shots, but it's something that Sean Winland and company have to correct, because they need the goal to get back into this game, obviously.
Nick Reyes, a lot of yellow shirts there. Robbie Aristodemo, David DePlacido. Will be a throw in to Calgary. CJ Persnecker. Puts it to Conrad Chala. Oveen loses out. Away by Siriu. Ian De Silva pops it up in the net again. Toronto in the yellow and black, going left to right on your television screen. Team Calgary wearing red and white. Cello, this is Ashton, who has a yellow card. Chala sends it wide to Garrity. Brendan Garrity. Long ball, flag was up. Wimble in an offside position.
Very few offsides in the game tonight. There's just one so far. That was actually the second of the game. But it's because both defenses are playing quite deep, and obviously then you're not going to get too many offside decisions if defenders are not pushing up too much.
Ashton. Placido. Mayard. Aristodemo. Aristodemo taken down from behind by Wimble. Free kick taken quickly. To Placido. Goes by Oveen. Switches the point of attack. Pincello. Down the line. Westmus. Placido. Ashton loses. Ball. Chala. Now Wielden. Siriu steps in. Calgary with possession. Dwayne Garreau. Aristodemo takes over. Siriu looked like a handball there. Play continues. Reyes. Wimble trying to make a run. Reyes takes a deflection. Zagar alertly off his line. Gathers. And you heard one of the Calgary players say we're giving away balls for fun. I don't know how much fun they're having, but they aren't holding on to possession for very long. Zagar.
And again, Theo Zagar, Theodosis Zagar, to give his full title, slipping, and we saw what happened with the Calgary goalkeeper, unfortunately. It's just, I think, the time of the evening, maybe a little bit of dew on the ground, and players' footing is not as good as it might be, and it's a very dry ground. I think it's been watered a little bit. It's bumpy. It's not the best playing surface to play on, to be quite honest, for a goalkeeper or for an outfield player.
Zagar lost it long. You take a look at some of the other scores. 4 games tonight. Virginia Beach, a 1-0 lead on Montreal. At halftime, Syracuse, a surprise 3-1 lead at home against the Rochester Raging Rhinos. Milwaukee and Cincinnati just underway, 0-0. And the last game tonight, El Paso at Portland, 2 teams out of the playoffs. Offside flag up there. Reyes in offside position. 2 games on Saturday, Charlotte and Richmond. Away at Richmond, and Minnesota away to the Charleston Battery, sharpening their swords for the playoffs. Calgary and Montreal, we talked about that, part of the Voyageurs Cup setup. And that could have some bearing on the Voyageurs Cup as well. Virginia Beach and Toronto. Minnesota at Atlanta with a tough season. And Milwaukee at Indiana. At the back post, knocked down by Ashton. Also El Paso and Seattle on Sunday. Cleared away by Kennis. Here's Faria.
No shot, Tommy.
This is Faria, lays it off for Aristodemo, puts on the brakes, lays it wide. Crossed in by Westmest. Wilden was there. Stepping up Vincello. Good job by Vincello. He still has it, and then takes a weak shot all along the ground, but he earned the right to take that one, I think.
Key thing when you're shooting is if you see a shooting opportunity, you've got to take those shots. And Mauricio Vincello has come up several times tonight and got into good shooting positions, and I'm sure that Peter Pinizzotto wants him to take shots if he sees the opportunity. But good defending there by Calgary. You know, they're not allowing shots from close range, and certainly when a defender comes forward, there's not as much danger as maybe an attacking player.
Hughes. Adrian Siriu. Barclay. Found by Garreau. Again, good compact defending, like you say, Dick Howard, by Team Calgary. Stepping in there is Faria. Faria. Plays it into space. This is Barclay, the goal scorer. Trying to send it through for Ashton. Silva was there. Wilden's angled ball. Not a lot of space for Reyes to run onto it. And then throw into Calgary. Courtlease is there. Reyes. Vincello put it into touch, and Vincello and Reyes coming together. Courtlease comes in to try to sort out Vincello. Reyes just wants to get on with his business. Vincello was defended by something that went on over there on the sideline.
Well, it's a competitive game. You know, players are playing it hard. There's obviously some lip service there with regards to what's happening. And then we see the slap and the assistant referee having to step in and split the players up. And obviously you go into the referee's book if you have that happen to you. Don't know whether it's to Mauricio Vincello or to Nick Reyes at the moment.
Long throw in. Alvin angles it back in, but cleared away. Fast break opportunity here. Barclay threads it through for Aristodemo. Aristodemo in the box. Aristodemo pressuring Garreau. Wielden. Long ball. Siriu won that header. Vincello. Well, both of them got yellow cards, Dick. Vincello and Reyes.
And rightly so too, because you often see the reaction of the player, but both of them were not playing in the spirit of the game, and both deserve to go into the referee's book. But Calgary playing with a little bit more urgency in this second half, and certainly looked a lot more attacking minded than they were in the first half, which is good to see.
This is Sean Wimble. Englishman sends it wide. Mark Courtlease looking for Reyes. Reyes runs right into Siriu, but Siriu ran out of space, and it will be a throw into Calgary.
That's a great ball by Mark Courtlease to switch in the play to the opposite side, and Nick Reyes, a very skillful player.
Alvin cuts it back. The shot. Oh! Saving challenge there by Vincello. Running onto the ball was Conrad Chala, and he had the whole goal to look at.
And this is something we didn't see in the first half, where we saw Calgary getting into the Toronto area and creating problems, and unfortunately the finishing let them down on that occasion. But they are pushing forward a lot more and saying, well, it's only 1-0. We can get it back into this game if we get the equalizer and a little bit of momentum.
There's a player you singled out in the open, Jamie Alvin, who made that play as a Toronto player is down on the turf. Here's Maillard. Maillard down the line. I don't think he realized his teammates down. It was Faria who went to ground in the first half as well. He's back up.
Here's a situation in the penalty area. The ball cut back exceptionally well. And you look at a lot of yellow shirts pressurizing the players taking the shot. He tried to side foot it in, but unfortunately, Konechar didn't get the ball on target. And Theo Zagar happy to see that go over.
Well, there will be a substitution made by Tommy Wheeldon Sr. Sean Fraser from Edmonton played at University of Memphis, and he'll replace Mark Courtwies.
Yeah, Mark Courtwies, Coach Wheeldon wanted him to play behind the front two, and really he wasn't giving them the support maybe that he wanted. And he's brought in a new player, I think, to see if he can make a difference in that area. But it's a difficult role to play, like a three-quarter striker or a withdrawn striker. But you sit in behind those front two players, and you've got to give them good service. And Mark Courtwies at times didn't give them that kind of service up front.
Well, Fraser gets ahead to that cross-field pass by Maillard, and Team Calgary still battling to keep possession. Garreau keeps it in. Maillard knocked it into touch. So some battling quality shown by Team Calgary. That's Fraser.
Yeah, Sean Fraser, graduate of the Edmonton Ital-Canadians, a great team over the years, competed in the national championships and certainly produced some fine players in the Edmonton area.
Ashton lays it off for Jonathan Westmus. Tommy Wheeldon Jr. sends it forward. Reyes. Cello, that took a deflection, and oh, Fraser pulled down from behind. Free kick, and Sirio will certainly be booked for this.
Sirio could be in serious trouble.
Was he the last man?
It could well be. You look at that situation where it's a professional foul, the player going through. And in those situations, you have seen in the past, we've seen in the past, players sent off. Adrian Sirio, very fortunate not to be sent off in that kind of situation, because Sean Fraser was right through, and Tommy Wheeldon Sr. Again, very disappointed that there wasn't a more severe penalty to the Lynx defender.
I was tempted to say down goes Fraser. The free kick, well, deflected off the wall. Wimble took it. They haven't had many set pieces in the attacking third of the field, Calgary. You'd have to say it's a wasted opportunity. And we saw Tommy Wheeldon Sr., the Calgary coach, asking the fourth official why it wasn't a red card. The long throw, Zagar's there, took a bump. And now some more bumping in argy-bargy. Zagar seems unperturbed, though.
He's got a great temperament, Theo Zagar. You don't see him losing his cool. You want to see that in a goalkeeper, that you know, you're not going to get ruffled with the physical contact, and Theo Zagar is certainly that type of person, a fine goalkeeper over the years for the Toronto Lynx.
Free kick to Toronto. Alvin bumps with DePlacido. Getting a little snarly out here.
Yeah, they're starting to pick numbers and say a few words, and of course that's where the officials have got to keep an eye on things, because you see a lot of action off the ball as well as around the ball, and there's maybe one or two instances in this game thus far where that's happening.
Well, Garrity went to ground. Westmus got him after the ball was away. Westmus gets just a verbal warning by the referee. Westmus out of Hartwick College.
And Hartwick College produced some fine players over the years and some fine coaches.
And the man who started USL.
Exactly, and interestingly enough, of course, some older Calgary fans will remember the Calgary Boomers in the North American Soccer League 1981. Of course, the president of the United Soccer Leagues, Francisco Marcus, was there, and Al Miller, another graduate, I believe, of Hartwick College, was the coach of that team. The Boomers just lasted one season in the Calgary area.
Okay, it's a boom and bust, but Fraser's been booming since he's been out there. He's picked off a couple of those cross-field passes, getting ahead to it. Out behind Siriu, create that free kick, and
he's got pace, hasn't he? Yeah, and defenders don't like to have players attacking them with the ball at their feet, and we're seeing that with Sean Fraser. He's given a different dimension. He's been asked, I think, to play a little bit further forward than Mark Courtois, and it's causing some problems with the back line of the Toronto Lynx.
Well, Frio went to ground for the 3rd time in this game, and immediately all the subs in the Toronto bench got up to warm up. This is Garrity. And this will be a free kick to Toronto. David DePlacido in his 6th year with Toronto.
And Jamie O'Hearn in his very first game, and he's doing well because Coach Whelan thought that he might just be only able to last 45 minutes. He's played with injury all season, and this is why we picked him out before the game. A great attitude and the spirit that really characterizes this Calgary team. You know, they haven't had a season to remember, but they are battling away, and their attitude is great, the team spirit, and a little bit of spirit there on the part of Sean Ferrier, and it looks as though he's gone into the book as well.
Yeah, I think he was sick of it all after taking a couple of knocks down at the other end of the field. Well, the yellow card starting to mount. Toronto leads 1-0 on the 16th minute goal by Sebastian Barclay. Brad Feldman alongside Dick Howard. Thanks for watching this A-League matchup. It's the USL on Fox Sports World. The playoffs start next Friday on the USL on Fox Sports World. This is Siriu. And Fraser, very active, wins it back. Garreau for Calgary. Closed by Aristodemo. Garreau still with it. Sends it wide to Wimble. Wimble going at Maillard. Maillard goes to ground. Wimble gets around. A left-footed cross. A low one. Siriu forced to concede the corner.
And again, he showed very well to get that ball in, but look at the yellow shirts around the player. He should never really have had the opportunity to cross that ball. He didn't have any support, and the only thing he could do was to get that ball back into the middle, and now it's a corner kick for Team Calgary.
It'll be Nick Reyes. Reyes curling ball. But not clear by Toronto. Finally away by Maillard. Headed down, but Aristodemo space to attack. Going against Alvin. Aristodemo holds it up. DePlacido squares it. Faria. Vincello from distance. The shot off the ball, off the post and in. Wow, what a cannon!
Unbelievable. A great try by Mauricio Vincello, and the goalkeeper completely beaten. Just a tremendous drive, and what a great goal to score, because Calgary was starting to get back into this game, and Mauricio Vincello, a tremendous goal. Ball laid off by Sean Ferrier. Left foot, goalkeeper a little bit deep and in off the post. But again, no pressure on the kicker. You know, he has a chance to set the ball up, take the shot on target. The goalkeeper a little bit deep, maybe. He might have been another yard or two forward to cut it out, and then off the post.
Mauricio Vincello's first goal of the year. David DePlacido officially given the assist. It looked like Faria involved in the play as well. So just as Team Calgary is starting to get the attack going, Toronto comes back the other way and makes it 2-0. Wasn't clear initially whether that took a carom off of Barclay, who's on the doorstep, but that had a lot of power on it.
It was a great strike on goal, and it came through players, but I'm sure that you know, you look at the distance the ball came in from, and maybe it could have been saved. It would have been a great save by the goalkeeper, and not taking anything away from the kicker, but the post is always a goalkeeper's best friend at times, and sometimes his worst enemy.
No, Kennis came in as a substitute, and a goal off the free kick. And it's 2-1. Just like that, Sean Wimble has halved the lead.
Well, he came close moment ago, but this time he made no mistake with that shot. Theo Zager obviously disappointed, but what a time to get a goal, to get back into a game. As soon as a team scores, then if you can get back into the game and you look at it, it's there. Theo Zager setting up his wall, caught behind the wall, the kick is taken, and the Lynx goalkeeper completely out of position there. So a lot of credit there for Team Calgary. Sean Wimble taking that kick and catching Theo Zager out of position, setting up the wall, and Calgary are back in the game.
Well, now Toronto looking to attack.
Let's get our marks now.
That goal unassisted, of course, off the free kick. Oh, Ashton went to ground. Wheeldon got him. A lot of language is being spoken in there. Ashton laughing it off. Wheeldon from England. He's been through the wars.
Well, Brian's played in English soccer as well as Tommy Wheeldon Jr. and they were both having to go at one another, and Brian took a tumble where trying to get a foul.
Long throw, and keeper came. Mayard almost got there. Well, Kennis came off his line, but didn't take it cleanly, and that was a powerful long throw by Adrian Siriu. Essentially a corner kick.
Yeah, he takes a good long throw. With a goalkeeper there, you've got to, if you're in that kind of situation, try and punch the ball away rather than push it away. And thankfully, there were a few red shirts around to clear the ball. But he's very dangerous with long throws, Adrian Siriu.
He'll have another opportunity. Flings it again. De Silva headed it away. De Placido's there, and then Reyes just lumps it forward. Frazier, though, with a lot of pace, will pressure Vincello. Good job to head it towards the touchline. Sear did keep it in. No, he did not. Throw taken quickly. Here's Garreau. This game is opened up, and the wind has continued to kick up. To Placido. Now Mayard over the midfield stripe. Mayard to Ashton. This portion of the match being brought to you by Umbro. Umbro, only soccer since 1924. Aristodemo. Now Siriu. Looks like Giuliano Oliveira is going to check in for Toronto. Ashton went to ground, and the foul continues to be physical out there. And we're getting extra little bumps in on Ashton, our Calgary. Maybe trying to wind him up since he has the yellow card. They know that he plays with his heart on his sleeve.
And dangerous area of the field. I'm sure that Peter Pinizzotto would like to have Nicky Vinjevic in this kind of situation because he's very good on set plays in these kind of areas. He's able to bend the ball in. This time the Calgary wall has been set up and the goalkeeper is in position, and we'll see what happens now with the kick.
De Placido, Westmus, the blast along the ground but right on the keeper. Garreau going for Reyes. Good tackle by De Placido. Good interception there. Aristodemo. Now Westmus. Westmus. Angles it towards the corner. Aristodemo run out by Garreau. Kuznecker sends it out to midfield. Now Faria. Westmus back to Faria. De Placido. Aristodemo. Toronto, good stretch of possession here. Mayard. Mayard. Aristodemo on the right flank. Aristodemo serves it in, away by Wheeldon. Well, Robbie Aristodemo, first game back from that foot injury. Played well while he's out there. He will be replaced by Giuliano Oliveira. Only played for the Montreal Impact.
And a good run out there by Robbie Aristodemo, because he's playing his first game for several months. And here's another player who's been out for a long period of this season, Giuliano Oliviero, and he was counted upon by Peter Pinizzotto to be one of the attacking force for this team, and a team that has lacked an out-and-out striker after the departure of and gone back to Montreal, who was the leading scorer for the Lynx.
Toronto with the ball. Barclay takes a tough bump there, but the foul goes against Toronto. Barclay didn't like the call.
The game that's very delicately balanced at the moment. Calgary, with that goal, certainly opened the game up, and I think the addition here of Sean Fraser was smart, because he's causing quite a few problems with the back line of this Toronto Lynx team, with his space, speed, and movement off the ball.
Wimble. Long throw. Away by Maillard. De Silva. Forward position. Wimble's cross. It's a good one for Fraser. Knotted down and in. And a goal. No. I never saw the flag, Dick. Was there a whistle?
There was a flag. I think a little bit of a push there, and the free kick was given.
Okay.
So there was lots of time, and I'm sure that Theo Zago would have made a better attempt to save that ball.
Well, will you stop me next time when I do that, please? My error. The folks at home, the Calgary fans, are disappointed. Is Garrity barreling down the right? Faria sends it forward.
And I'm talking about Calgary fans, the Storm Chasers, the supporters club are at Limericks, and Tommy Wilden hopes that the team chaplain enjoys his Guinness in the second half of this game. So I'm sure they'll be cheering Team Calgary on in this game.
Mauricio Vincello is up.
Well, we see, you know, that challenge there. Lynx De Silva with the arm going out. You see so many challenges in this game with elbows causing injuries with players, and I don't like to see it personally when players are using their arms and their elbows, because you know, there's a few broken noses that resulted in those kind of situations.
Runs all the way through to the keeper, Zagar. Pushing the troops out. Zagar with a 1.32 goals against average coming into this game. And we understand that a yellow card has been issued to number 4, Liam De Silva, for Calgary.
Hey, no turn, see the whole middle.
See Jan Veenhoff, defender for Toronto, getting set to come in. De Silva clears it long. Vincello in the 75th minute. Toronto leading Calgary 2-1 here at Centennial Park in Toronto.
Cover middle.
Long angled ball. Oliviero can't track it down. And Jamie Avine was replaced by Brett Bachelou. And what do you make of Avine's outing?
Well, I think he's done better than Coach Wilden expected. He only expected him to play maybe 45 minutes in this game, and he's certainly done well, given that he was in a difficult part of the field, because the Lynx got a lot of possession in midfield and he did a lot of chasing, but talking about chasing here. Obviously, Peter Pinizzotto wanted to bring a bit of stability into the back. Jan Vinhoff, very experienced Dutch defender coming in to try and settle things down.
Vinhoff, who played for Groningen. Also, Den Bosch, Josue Maillard, ever improving.
Vinhoff, I think, a good addition at this stage because he's got a lot of experience. First player to play, ironically, in Albanian soccer. He's also played in Japan, so a well-traveled player.
That time, Kenneth came well for it.
Good catch there, and no challenge, so an easy save for the Team Calgary goalkeeper.
Siriu. Viero gives it away, but battles to win it back in the center circle. Gets it back to Tyler Hughes. Siriu. Siriu, he's smooth out there, but that was a poor ball. Chala. Vinhoff. Westmas. Holds it well, now forward by Faria. Sent back with some interest by Wielden. Bochelou now playing something of the lone striker up top.
Yes, they've actually pushed 3 up into attack at times, Team Calgary, and the Lynx have been adjusting. Adrian Sears come wide on the right here with Jan Vinhoff in the middle with Tyler Hughes, and then out on the left side, Marcio Vincello. So a little bit of rearrangement by the Lynx, and Team Calgary pushing those players forward now, so it's almost like a 3-4-3 at times.
Wielden's free kick deflected off of the back of Barclay. This is Garreau. Placido wins it back for Toronto. Toronto trying to make it double-digit wins. Ashton goes to ground. He needs to be careful here. Carrying a yellow card. He and Chala got tied up. And you sense that Ashton knows that they're having a go at him.
Conrad Chala, actually assistant coach to Tommy Williams Sr. in this team. So it's nice to have sort of a coach on the field. A lot of experience, and playing against a player like Brian Ashton, who also got a lot of experience, and every player in the A-League knows Brian Ashton.
Siriu. Bochelou. Pair of fresh legs out there. Pressure defenders. Siriu. Long throw, and Ashton went to ground. Kenneth gathers, and there's a lot of hitting going on out there. The whistle went, and Wielden is now really unhappy with Sebastian Barclay.
Well, it was a little bit of a mix-up there. Very Kennedy didn't know what to do with the ball. He lost possession of it, and then so surrendered the ball outside the area, handled it outside the area, and now it's obviously a dangerous situation for a Toronto Lynx free kick.
It's Westmas behind the ball. Kenneth sets up his wall, just 2 players.
It's a dangerous one, this, if he swings it in right.
Had a good bend on it. Now hit from outside the box by Oliveiro, but off target by Juliano Oliveiro.
It's a situation, Brad, you get those free kicks in that area of the field, and if it's swinging into the goal, goalkeepers don't like that because it just needs a slight touch that ends up in the back of the net. Thankfully, that time, there was a Calgary defender that cleared the ball.
Calgary wins possession. Garreau close quickly, plays it into space for Bochelou. Bochelou in a battle with Siriu, and Bochelou in the end double teamed, and throw goes to Toronto. There will be another substitution made by Peter Pinizzotto for Toronto. Ryan Lucas, big Barbadian striker, formerly with the Cincinnati Riverhawks and also the Boston Bulldogs. They are in the A-League. Will take off Sebastian Barclay, who scored the first goal for Toronto. Fortuitous goal for Barclay, but was active most of the game. This is Wheeldon chipping it back towards the goal. Now forward by Siriu. Lucas's first touch with his chest goes right to Wimble, who's dropped deep into midfield. Wheeldon back to his keeper, forces Kenneth to send it long. Frazier plays it into space. Hughes calmly. Now attacking in waves, Calgary, and fortunate Wienhoff, I should say, got it away.
And substitute for $10 off any regularly priced purchase over $30.
Calgary with possession, but De Silva runs into some trouble there. Vincello. De Silva pops it up. Aerial duel there, throw in to Calgary. So Calgary still very much in this game, Dick Howard.
They are, and they're doing, you know, we talk about their 3 keys and close them down quickly. Well, this is what they're doing. You can't question their work rate, and on occasion, now with the addition of the speedy players up front, they're counter-attacking quite well, Team Calgary, and this game is not over by a long way.
Thoreau gives it away to Placido. Controls and shepherds it over midfield. Placido still with it. Siriu.
No turn.
Oliviero.
Watch it, go.
Marked by Thoreau. Wide to Siriu. Siriu's attempted a crossing pass deflected into touch.
4 adults over 19 join the Toronto Lynx at the Heron Perkin Pub for tonight's
CJ Pejneker's been quietly effective.
on the north side of Eglinton, west of Vancouver. With permanent markers.
Wimble, the goal scorer for Calgary. Flick on. Reyes giving chase. Hughes. Well, in the end, too many yellow jerseys there. Oliviero now. Down the line for Lucas. Ryan Lucas. Lucas played into space. Ashton's fighting to get there. Here's Frazier. Frazier on the turn. Trying to turn the corner of Vincello. Vincello opens up his stride, sliding tackle. A good job there.
That's good defending, because we've seen a lot of pace here from the young Sean Fraser, and he's causing some problems down the side, but a well-timed tackle there by Monsieur Vincello.
Garrity took a bump and managed to get it forward. Here's Frazier. Frazier wide, looking for Brendan Garrity. Tyler Hughes got it up the line. De Silva knocks it down. Reyes, wide right. Couple of step-over maneuvers. Good tackle again by Vincello going to ground. Now Hughes. Plays it into space for Ashton. Has Lucas making a run. Lucas holds up, now makes a turn. Edge of the box, Lucas. Ryan Lucas taking on a couple of defenders. Asian striker lays it off. He didn't have the support he thought he had, Dick.
And lots of red shirts. There was nowhere for him to go, and we talk about it in the game so often. You've got to have supporting players, and there you looked at the red shirts and the yellow shirts, and the red shirts won out. It's so important in the game, that movement off the ball, and young players should realize this, that they only have a ball for maybe 3 minutes in the game. What do you do in the other 87? Well, you've got to move off the ball and support your teammates, and classic case, nobody supporting the Lynx striker.
Westmoss lost out there. Bachelou down the right line, but again, the narrow confines limiting the flank play here. And Brett Bachelou still adjusting to this field. He's a sub who came on recently, hasn't had as much time to acclimate.
Yeah, it's so difficult to play on a narrow field. It's better for visiting teams, because they can defend and close down a team, and the Lynx like to play football. And Peter Pinizzotto says, with a record of, was it 6-7-1 away from home, and a good home record, you're in the playoffs.
Just 3 wins all year.
And 8 goals.
Well, credit to the organization. It's not for lack of fan support and good enthusiastic folks in the crowd. It's just, like you say, they're built to play soccer on the ground. And
they have a great time here. Nick Cole and Bruno Hartrell do a tremendous job in getting out into the community, inviting groups along. There's a theme night, as I say. We've got the mascots tonight who have been great. And they make a lot of noise. It's a nice, intimate little stadium here at Centennial Park, and the fans certainly have been coming out, and they're witnessing a good competitive encounter here tonight between two Canadian teams that really have nothing to play for because they're not in the playoffs. But they're certainly want to get bragging rights to be the Voyager Cup winners.
Voyager's Cup at stake, and next year you'll have a team in Edmonton competing for that as well. And now even rumors, Dick, that Hamilton is a potential A-League market, although that's far from certain.
Yeah, well, there's lots of good Canadian players, good Canadian coaches, and I'd love to see maybe up to 8 teams forming a Canadian division in the A-League. And Brian Ashton saying yes.
I'll be the most popular guy in Canada.
He wants to be a coach one day, Brian, and I'm sure, you know, there'd be good opportunities for him to be coaching in the A-League, and certainly it's something down the road that would be great for Canadian soccer.
Well won there by De Placido, now looking for Oliveiro, but cut out well by the Calgary defense. In the 86th minute, Team Calgary running out of time to pull one back. They want to send this to overtime. Wienhoff gets it wide. Siriu didn't keep it in. So an attacking throw-in now for Calgary. Let Garreau take it. This is Wimble.
Yeah, he's dropped back into midfield. Sean Wimble and Bechelot and Fraser and Reyes are up front, and Tommy Whelan sort of pushing players forward now. They've nothing to lose with just over 4 minutes left in the game, with added time on for injury, injury and substitutions, obviously.
Hughes held it up well, got to Vincello. I should say Lucas. Reyes. Throw into Toronto. Your evaluation of Liam De Silva's match so far?
Well, the big thing, of course, you use that nickname Teapot. It bothered me, and I wondered how it happened. And we'll describe it after this play is over.
Ryan Lucas getting to the byline and then just crushing an attempted crossing pass deep into the night.
And I was told by Coach Wheeldon that it was because he was talking about team shape in a training session, and Liam De Silva went into the shape of a teapot, and that's how he got his nickname of Teapot.
He's about 6'2", so he's not short and stout. It's loose in the center circle. Ashton guilty of committing the foul. Still moving his legs. Kejnecker. Now Wimble trying to boss the match out of the back and taken down by Ashton, who's in danger of picking up a second yellow. The referee went over to give him a talking to, but he'll let it go. Calgary would do well to hurry. Wheeldon sends it long. Away by Vincello. Vincello has a goal, and he's been strong at that left back position. Placido against Reyes. Runs out of room, but throw into the Lynx again.
David De Placido, he's come on a lot this season, and when you're playing against player like Nick Reyes, he's got a lot of skill. And I think the fact that he started in a lot of the games has helped David De Placido, and he's certainly been very consistent for the Lynx all season long.
This is Lucas. Takes a deflection. Siriu well positioned to take it. Chests it down. Loses his footing. We'll run all the way back to Zagar. Zagar, not tested very often, but he's caught napping on the free kick for the Team Calgary goal. Here comes Garrity. Angled ball. Headed clear, and it will be an offside. We have two important final scores to bring you from around the A-League. Virginia Beach tops Montreal, so that very important in terms of the Northeast Division standings. And in Rochester's last game of the season, they fall 3-2 to the Syracuse Salty Dogs in Syracuse. So an upset there. Back here, we're going to have 2 minutes of stoppage time as we approach the end of the 90 minutes of regulation. It's away by Kejnecker. Here's Siriu. Siriu calmly plays it back to Veenhoff. Siriu with the left foot this time. Team Calgary, Reyes trying to get it to Bocciolu. Couldn't do it. So now a winner tie by Montreal against Team Calgary, and they will be the Northeast Division champions. Great season for Bob Lilly and Montreal Impact, and they could cap off the regular season with Northeast Division championship.
A very competitive division. You know, you look at the Pacific Northwest has been a very competitive division with Calgary in that, of course, and the Toronto Lynx in a very competitive Northeastern division. And certainly the addition of the Syracuse Salty Dogs has been great this season. And they've had some very competitive encounters, especially against their neighbors down the thruway, the Rochester Raging Rhinos.
Indeed, Laurie Calloway ends the season on a high note. They started off so great, Syracuse did, and then middle of the season hit a lull, made some personnel changes, but building towards the future and a successful expansion team in Syracuse. And now free kick for Toronto, and not only is this in a dangerous attacking position, but kill off more of the clock as we're into the second minute of stoppage time.
Yes, there'll be no hurry to take this free kick in the Toronto Lynx. But there you see Ryan Lucas, first player, I believe, from Barbados to play in professional soccer here in North America, the A-League. Good, strong target player.
The Ashton over the crossbar. Well, that served to bleed the clock a little more, and now Calgary down to the last few seconds, but this could be a break here. Bocciolu can get on the end of it. He got a foot to it. Well, Vincello has been fantastic, and he marshals that and sends it long for Ashton, who gets the flick on. Now Lucas, well, he'll just hold it up and play it wide. That's a smart play. Westmus, will they play for the corner flag? Lucas taking his time, and it will be a goal kick. But Dick, we're well over the 2 minutes.
Yes, the key thing is that he's eating up valuable time, and they say the final whistle tells it all.
Well, that's the last kick of the game, and our man of the match, Mauricio Vincello, with a goal and very strong play at left back.
He's certainly been outstanding. Well done, Mauricio Vincello.
2-1 Toronto defeat Team Calgary. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. It's the USL on Fox.
Hey, didn't I see you at the YMCA? Maybe you were one of the bad girls. Celebrating. In Funky Town. You just got up to boogie on the Love Roller Coaster. You were shaking your groove thing down at the car wash, or shadow dancing in the Navy, or surviving in the jungle at ladies' night. I bet you were a dancing machine, doing the hustle with a brick house. You love machine? Don't let this be your last dance. Pick up the dealio and dial.
Jim Rockford, what is it about the man?
Don't lean, don't hassle, and don't threaten. I happen to be in a very bad mood.
The snappy blazers?
That shade of brown doesn't work with anything.
The hot car?
Turn it left, turn it! Oh, not my car again.
The killer smile.
Hi.
We're not quite sure why, but everyone wants a piece of the rock.
I'm not going back over there and get my gourd stomped. You gotta be one of the dumbest looking apes I ever saw. What is the matter with you? I'm gonna break your face. You, Jocko, I'm gonna remember.
Get a piece of the rock. The Rockford Files, weeknights on Deja Vu.
Hi, I'm Walter Gretzky. Wayne and I have been volunteering with the CNIB for over 20 years. I can tell you, CNIB volunteers are the real great ones.
Hello, I'm Jim Sanders, President of the Canadian National Institute for the Blind. I'm inviting you to join our team of All-Stars. We need your help. Please contact your local CNIB office or visit cnib.ca.
The Financial Post, Canada's trusted business source, exclusively in the National Post. The news, you have our word on it.
L&M Taylor Soccer is on the net. The leader in soccer jerseys, clothing, and apparel is at lmsoccer.net. Pro jerseys from Europe, South America, and North America. International jerseys, plus rugby, NBA, and NFL. Looking for a hard-to-find soccer jersey? Ask us online or call us at 905-571-7727. lmsoccer.net, the leader in soccer.
The shots from the CN Tower in downtown Toronto, looking at the west end of Toronto where we are tonight. And here at Centennial Park, Toronto has just defeated Team Calgary by a score of 2-1. Sebastian Barclay and Mauricio Viancello, the scores for Toronto. Sean Wimble for Calgary, and here's the game-winning goal to the Calgary.
Yeah, there's a setup by David De Placido to Sean Ferreira. Plays it across to Mauricio Viancello. Well, last season he scored his first career goal against who else? The Calgary Storm. He does it again, this time against Team Calgary with a little bit of help from the post.
Again, our final score, the Toronto Lynx 2, Team Calgary 1. Mauricio Viancello, our USL man of the match. Our next telecast on the USL and Fox Sports World. Next Friday, September 5th, Vancouver at Seattle in the first round of the A-League playoffs at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Then on the 6th, the Super Y League Championships, a highlight show not to miss, some of the best youth talent in North America. And then the following weekend, the A-League playoffs continue, second round. Times and teams involved to be determined by what happens in the first round. You've been watching the USL on Fox Sports World. For Dick Howard, David Bolton, and the rest of our USL and Fox Sports World crew, I'm Brad Feldman. Good night from Toronto.
Get your scores. Get your updates. Get your highlights. Fox Sports World Report.
It's been a week of changes for manager Sven-Göran Eriksson.
Covering the top leagues from around the world.
Juventus are controlling their